Bro, listen.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Can't get enough baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to weigh mine for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
All right, there's no human being I'd rather talk to than Warren Hypes right now. Tell me your title, please, because I've already forgotten it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Vice President of Creative and Brand here with the Rays.
Okay. Congratulations. Baseball isn't boring. The brand, the product, the revolution, everything. Want to proclaim that the Tampa Bay Rays have absolutely, no question about it, the best City Connect uniform. So,
yeah.
And you're a big part of that. So congratulations.
Well, thanks so much, man. I mean, I think hopefully here at the Rays, nothing we ever do is boring, and we really wanted to do something different and think outside the box for this, and it's been really fun, man. It's been a really fun process.
So I really I'm happy that you're here, and I'm happy I get a chance to see you and meet you and catch up with you. So I guess let's start. Let's just start with the beginning of it.
Sure.
Where you can say this is when the first mention of it is made, and then where it goes from there. Just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. So we started this process in 2020. It's been a 4-year process to get it out. So was very excited to finally release this. We've been sitting on it for a while. I think one of the main things we really wanted was to find a way to get Tampa Bay back on the uniform #1. That was very important. And then we started thinking about this. There's so many wonderful things about this area. You look at Cigar City, or all the history in baseball here, or the beautiful beaches that we're famous for. We really want to think about this though, what's a story we could tell on a regional and a national level that's, something people don't already know about this area, and maybe even people who live here don't know about this area. And so we settled on this concept to really hone in on skateboarding, which has been really exciting. And it's one of the first ever publicly funded skate parks was built in Tampa in 1979. It was also the first ever skate park on the National Register of Historic Places. And look, it's a vibey, fun place. Skateboarding, all that plays into the culture here, so we thought it would be a really fun direction.
So when you're tasked with this, I guess, right? So you're City Connect. And you just laid out a lot of it. What is the first thing? Do you have to sort of bullet point what you want to do, the direction of how you want it? Because we've seen the City Connect. They're awesome. A lot of them are awesome. But they're a lot different, and I'm sure everyone approached it differently. How did you approach it?
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing that's a unique challenge for us is, we're not focusing on one city, right? We're focusing on a whole region here, and I think that was a lot that went into the genesis of this. Is how do we not only represent St. Pete, represent Tampa, represent all the other outlying regions here, but how do we represent the whole region? And we thought this could be something really fun, that's different, that kind of sums up something that's bring some culture and vibes to the whole region here and not just one particular city.
And the skateboard is, so we can go through each elements of it, but the skateboard is the one that jumps out, right? Let's be honest, this is what got the most buzz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. So how did that come up? I didn't realize about the skateboard park. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
So was it this aha moment? How did that come up?
Yeah, I mean, once we decided we wanted to really zoom in on this as a concept, I think the opportunities were limitless, right? And so I think at that point it's where we're really let's have fun with this. Let's make it different. And as you're looking at the jersey, you have your Tampa Bay. This is our Devil Rays font originally was this Tampa Bay, but then we're how do we add a nod to this? To skate culture, and there was Thrasher magazine, which is a very popular skateboarding magazine. They have the flames on all their logos, so we thought we'd work that in. You can see here you've got an actual skateboard grip tape texture and the lettering, and then something really fun here. We wanted to have this Ray on a skateboard, and I don't think a Ray would ever skateboard. It's kind of just fun and whimsical, but when we opened this up and said anything's possible, it's why don't we just have fun with it? Why don't we do something completely different? And so. Here on the jock tag too, you've got the Pelican, which is representing our home here in St. Pete. And then you've got this 3 palm trees logo, which is a Florida Heritage Site logo, but it's a direct reference to the skate park I mentioned earlier, the Perry Harvey Senior Park. So
that's so incredible. It really is. And so when you're going through it, do you talk to other teams? Do you how much when you talk about uniforms, we've had different uniforms, right? The Rays have had different uniforms.
For sure.
how much do you research into uniforms? How much did you love uniforms?
Oh yeah, I love it. Look, I'm a nerd. I grew up, my stepdad was a minor league GM with our organization for 19 years. So I've grown up around the Rays since I was about this big.
All right.
Big design nerd, big uniform nerd. And so, we looked into a lot of different elements for this. I think we really like what we did with bringing back the Devil Ray uniforms. We brought those back for the first time for the 20th anniversary. We didn't want to directly redo that uniform, but I think you see some ties of it with the gradients and the bright colors. And then one of my favorite parts here is if we were going to do a City Connect uniform for Tampa Bay, we really wanted to make sure the Skyway Bridge is on here. And so we kind of developed it into this merger of the Skyway Bridge and a Devil Ray. And people have already called it the Sky Ray. And so that's, I think, one of the funnest marks that's on this.
Oh, that is so awesome. So it's funny, like when you were a kid, like you said, your stepdad was a minor league GM. When you were a kid, what was your favorite jersey? What was your favorite uniform?
I actually used to love the old Devil Rays unis. I mean, as a kid, I remember, it's kind of funny now, but I remember going to school and getting made fun of because everybody like, oh, that team's terrible. But you had the bright gradient and the colors. I love those. I mean, I think you look at all the classic uniforms too, like the Dodgers and all those traditional uniforms. I think those are really awesome too. Yeah. But I love that the Devil Rays was so different. And we came out the same year with the Diamondbacks that year, and they had a lot of really fun colors and color schemes in theirs as well.
So do you talk to other teams as well? Because again, all these teams are in the same boat, and you guys, in our view, have excelled. But did you talk to other teams and looked at other teams and what they're doing as well?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've got a lot of really good friends at the Braves, at the Dodgers, at the Pirates. Baseball is a pretty tight-knit group, and you've got so many colleagues at other teams. I think one thing that was different is, a lot of teams, the leadership group would decide on concept and then hand it off to the creative team. And what we've been really lucky with here is that I was able to be involved in it since day one, and I think having me involved in this since day one really let us craft that story that we wanted to tell around it and develop that over this 4-year process versus, maybe a team that gets handed a jersey. It's like, all right, you got a month till this comes out, figure out what you're going to say about it, what you're going to do is cool with it. And it's something I really respect about the leadership team here. They always tell us to break some windows, but don't burn down the house. And I think that's something that we were able to do with this. We were able to break some windows and do something different.
When was the moment? Do you remember the moment where you're like, okay, we got it?
I think probably in spring training we shot a couple players in it, and so we showed them for the first time. And getting their feedback was hugely important. Really? And we brought in a lot of local folks from the skate community here. There's an organization called Boards for Bros. It's a local nonprofit. Talked a lot with the folks at Skate Park of Tampa. And I think we wanted this to be authentic. We didn't want it to feel like, oh, this baseball team's ripping off our culture or corporatizing it. And so I think we brought a lot of those folks in, and they really understood the story we were trying to tell. We knew we were telling the story in the right way, and I think that's like the moment where I was like, we're really doing the right thing with this and feel good about it.
Also the reaction from the players. I mean, like this is the ultimate.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I will not name the team or the player, but one was just released, and the player was like, okay.
Yeah.
But the reaction, was there a player reaction that really hit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think Pete Fairbanks is, he learned to skateboard during the pandemic, and so he was one of the first guys to see it, and to get his reaction was really cool. But, we showed a couple of the other first players we showed were Yandy Diaz and Randy Rosarina, who, grew up in countries where maybe skateboarding wasn't a big of a thing as here. And I think even for them, they were like beautiful, the colors. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's great to have all this good storytelling, but I think we did something that looks really cool, that the players feel good in and play well in, and so I think that's very important.
Because like you said, it's a community, we all love uniforms, and what are some of the other ones where you're like, okay, I really like that? It's a subjective thing, right?
It is. I mean, look, with these uniforms, I think you could ask 10 different people and get 10 different answers. I loved what the Braves did, tying in the history of Hank Aaron. Thought that was really awesome. I think if you're looking at other teams that really stepped outside the box, the Padres did something very out there and different from their traditional brand. I really enjoyed that. Even going back, though, to teams like the Cubs that are more steeped in tradition, they have the Wrigleyville unis. I think what Boston did with the Marathon was really cool, and I know it was very different for them to, it's almost like a Rays color set, honestly, with the yellow and blue.
Different, yeah, completely different.
But it's so cool to see how all those teams lean into their various stories, and look forward to still seeing the ones that come out, but the ones that have it's been really cool.
What's been so we talk about the players' reaction, which is really like, let's be honest, like you don't want the players going out there like because we've had enough uniform talk, right? But so what was the other good comp besides the baseballs and boring honor that we have just bestowed upon you? What is the other compliment? Because when you release it, you have the players, it's great. Then you release it, you have the big release.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was the thing that you said? Oh.
I mean, honestly, when you do something so different, talking to leadership, I thought if 50% of our fans like this, it would be awesome. And to see the reactions, see people already naming the logo, the Sky Ray, it's been really great, and I think just justifies that, number one, we picked the right story to tell, and number two, we hopefully told it the right way.
Was there another story that you almost told?
No, we looked at several different options for this, but we really liked this from day one, centered in on it, and again, so thankful for our leadership team here to hand over the keys and say, you know what, go do something crazy, go have fun with it, and so thankful to have a team like that lets us do that.
And then the other thing is, now that what was the demand for it like? And I don't even know, like, because I know that they're for sale, they're going to be for sale, but you don't have to be from Tampa, you don't have to be from Florida, you don't have to be a Rays fan to want this jersey, to want that hat, that helmet. What has that been like? I
think one of the funnest things I've seen on social media is when you see, I'm a fan of the Yankees, I'm a fan of the Red Sox, I'm a fan of the team, but I'm going to have to pick up this hat or this jersey. That's been really cool to see, I think, other fans' reaction to it. And then in market, I think the reaction's been really great. We've been very happy with how everything's done retail-wise. And so we got 4 years to continue telling the story, and we'll keep finding new ways to make it fun.
The 4 years thing is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy because, I would anything is worth doing. It's worth doing right. And so it must be such a good feeling. Like, it must be.
Look, I'm so excited about this. I mean, I studied graphic design in high school. One of my first ever projects was creating a uniform, and so
was it really?
I think if you told little kid Warren that I would get to do this, it's really been a dream come true, and have the support of the organization and the players and everybody else and everything around it has been really amazing.
So little kid Warren, he was making uniforms when he was little.
I did, yeah. I don't think it turned out this good. No. I was a big fan of the band Kiss back then. Oh, so it was like a Kiss themed Gene Simmons uniform, and it definitely wasn't as well developed as this.
By the way, what an awesome.
It's funny the way it kind of comes full circle, right?
What an awesome uniform that would be. I'm all for that. I remember going back to coming here in Tropicana Field, there's been some really creative stuff going back to, they used to have superheroes and the cards, the Joe Madden, like Carl Crawford years. There's been some really creative stuff, and again, I got when I saw this, I wasn't I was like, there it is, that's the one. But I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised, and you guys are so creative, and you take advantage of. And I'm not just saying this, you take advantage of like a very unique area. Every area is unique, but you guys took advantage of it. So
and like I said, that starts from the leadership team down. Look, I think tradition is great in baseball. I love tradition in baseball, but we're still building our history here. We celebrated our 25th anniversary last year. We're still building our history, and I think allowing us to do something untraditional in a game that's so traditional is always fun. And we, from the uniforms to our in-game show to everything we try to do here, we try to have fun with it and be different on purpose and be disruptive on purpose, and hopefully that comes through in these.
Well, we have designed Baseballs and Boring t-shirts, which we are making sure that your group gets some. So I appreciate it.
We'll have to do that. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you taking some time.